Ladies and gentlemen, after many problems, modern technology, you remember Dr. Frankenstein? He created from parts Frankenstein. Today, through modern technology, we create parts to bring show business people together. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I got to present to you two of the loveliest people I have ever met in my life who are doing what I'm doing. Nothing except exchanging beautiful glances and happiness. Ladies and gentlemen, Dee Dee Sharp. Hello, Dee.
Good morning. Good morning. Is it morning? Is it really morning? I don't know.
I have no idea what it is, but let's ask this other fellow who recorded with you on Cameo Parkway what day it is. Bobby Rydell, are you there?
Yes, I are.
Hi, Rydell. How are you?
How you doing there, Miss Dee Dee?
Now listen,
I'm here, praise God.
To have you know, it is now, looks like 5 after 12, and it's February the 5th, 2021.
But wait, let's find out if Gary is still with us on February the 5th, 2021. Gary!
February 5th, 2020.
Oh, you're going back.
He's so crazy. He is a nut. You hear me? I love you, Gary, but you're crazy.
Hey guys, because the wonderful thing is, even though we're not working, there are millions of people out there, and I mean this sincerely, who are watching us as we have fun and talk about the days when our music was really the music of the day. Bobby and I have discussed this. Gary, I discussed this before, and Dee Dee, we haven't really discussed until this time around. But as you know, the music has changed. But I want to go back to the beginning, okay? With you, Dee, your real name was not Dee Dee Sharp.
No, it isn't.
What?
It was Dee Dee Flat.
You're so crazy.
Or Dee Dee Minor, or Dee Dee Major.
my legal name is Dion LaRue. And Bobby used to say hello to me, hello LaRue, and I would say, hello, Mr. Rydell, how are you?
Do you know that she was married to Lash LaRue?
Oh, I was just going to tell you, the man in black with the whip.
I love Lash LaRue. I also love Hopalong Cassidy, so get out of here.
Hey, hold it. Hey, yo, Bobby, Harry, make sure that you're with him. What was Hopalong Cassidy's horse's name?
Oh, Champion.
No, that was Gene.
That was Gene Autry.
That's
Gene Autry.
I'm going to give Gary a hint. Okay. If you had a mind, it would be a gold mine or a silver mine or a...
Silver.
With what? Copperware?
Oh, yeah, I remember now. His horse was Tupperware.
No, that was his wife's horse.
Oh, the wife's. That's right. Yeah, she rode Tupperware. Right.
Oh God, I love Hoppy. Don't talk about Hoppy. I love Hopalong Cassidy. I watch him every single Saturday morning.
Yeah,
Did you really, Dee?
I do really. You know, it reminds me of when my brother was living, and my two cousins were living. We would always watch Hopalong Cassidy every Saturday morning. Mm-hmm. Roy Rogers, Hopalong Cassidy, Gene Autry, and I just love those old movies. I love them.
And she married.
That's right.
Yeah. Well,
well, I'll tell you, Roy. Who was that?
Hey, Gary.
Who was that?
Wait, Gary, when you were a kid, what were some of your favorite cowboys?
Donna and Saw.
What?
Who?
I didn't hear what he said.
I didn't hear it either.
It's who?
Donna and Saw.
Donna and who?
And Saw.
Lord have mercy.
never
Father
heard of
forgive him. Father forgive him. Father forgive him. Father forgive
Wait,
him.
okay, forget about.
Dinosaur?
Can't hear you.
You've never heard of dinosaur?
Dinosaur? Oh, come on, Gary. You're so crazy.
Listen, apparently we gotta get Gary a better connection to this, okay? So we gotta give him more volume. But anyway, until we fix this, Gary, Dee Dee, okay,
Yes.
Miss LaRue, who changed the name to Dee Dee Sharp?
Well, it was actually Bernie, a combination of Bernie Lowe and Cal Man. Cal knew that what my real name was, and Bernie said it doesn't sound right, and I'm like, what the hell? He said it doesn't sound right, so they changed it to Dee Dee.
Okay.
And the key that I always sang in was D sharp.
Oh,
Really?
wow.
Yeah.
You sang in D sharp, Dee Dee?
In D sharp. So Cal and Bernie decided that my name would be Dee Dee Sharp.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. Oh,
Yeah, but my family always called me Dee anyway.
Okay.
Because my grandmother couldn't pronounce she really had a problem pronouncing my name. Mm-hmm. She would call me Dedrone, Dijon. I mean, so my grandmother always said, just D, right. And that's it.
Now,
and that's how I became Dee Dee Sharp.
Bobby Rydell, the change of the name was that your dad?
My dad changed it, right, because the nuns in school at the Epiphany Parish on 11th and Jackson, I was Mr. Rydell, Mr. Rydell. They couldn't pronounce Rydell, so my father came up with Rydell, and everybody thought that Paul Whiteman gave me the name. That was just for media, just for press. That Paul Whiteman couldn't pronounce Rydell, so he changed the name to Rydell, And what's interesting? When I did the Paul Whiteman TV Teen Club, you know who was the piano player for Paul Whiteman?
Bernie
Lowe.
Wow.
Bernie Lowe.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Dee Dee.
I didn't know that.
He played piano for Paul Whiteman. And I was 10 years old at the time when I did the show.
Oh, my Lord.
Who would have known 7 years later, Bernie would have been my boss at Cameo.
Yeah.
Bobby and Dee and Gary, do you know that Bernie Lowe, we talk about Bob Horn, who had originally Bandstand.
Right.
Bernie Lowe was partners with Bob Horn and Nat Sigel.
Correct.
I remember Nat, yeah.
They recorded, if you might remember, Freddie Bell and the Bell Boys.
Love Freddie Bell.
When
I
Bob
don't remember
lost the show, Bernie Lowe hooked up with Cal, and Sound and Teen then became Cameo Parkway. But it really began way back when Bernie was playing piano and was partners with Bob Horn and Nat Sigel.
Wow.
Gary.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Are you there?
I'm trying to figure out how to get volume out of it.
Well, I can hear you. Listen.
Yeah, I can hear you, Gary.
We can hear you. We can hear you very well, Gary.
Now, Gary.
You screwed up over
Gary U.S. Bonds. From Gary U.S. Bonds. The real name is Gary Anderson.
Yeah.
How's that happen to the Bonds?
Well, it was one night drinking wine. No, your buddy, Frank Geator, gave me that name. He pinned U.S. Bonds on me back when we the first recording, in 1959.
Uh-huh.
So it was Frank Geator. That was your buddy.
Yeah, Frank Geator had a record company. Actually, he had a record store in Norfolk, right?
Yeah.
And he recorded Gary U.S. Bonds. And whatever happened to Jimmy Soul, Twisted Matilda?
I don't know.
Your life, marry Bobby's wife, Linda, and you'll be happy for the rest of your life.
Yeah, Jimmy passed away a few years ago in prison.
What?
Yeah, he was in prison when he passed away.
What did he go to prison for, Gary? I'm
curious. He twisted Matilda too much.
But
And he wound up in college.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Harry, we from South Philadelphia don't say prison. I make a dedication for all the guys in college that are going for a further education.
Yeah, absolutely.
in the north, they prison. I mean, in the south, they prison. In the north, they college.
Uh-huh.
But down south, no.
You know, guys.
No, not down south, but South Philly. We call it college.
Listen, yeah. Moy Mensing. Remember the Moy Mensing?
Hey, where's Rocky? Rocky, he's in college. He's doing maybe about 2025 in college.
On another sad note, Little Willie John passed away. Also,
Oh, wow.
when he was in the can. And as I said, that was sad. He was young cat, Little Willie John, man. Bobby, you know this. Little Willie John worked with Duke Ellington, man, and worked with Count Basie. I mean, he was like one of the greats over there. Dee Dee, talking about the music, how did you get to do the mashed potatoes? Whose idea was that?
Well, that actually came from the days of backgrounding Bobby's stuff. I mean, we did Volare and all the other stuff. We were only background singers then. And we decided, Willa Ward decided that she wanted to use me as the singer for the Chubby Checker song. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to do it. I mean, I was used to singing, Jesus, keep me near the cross. And that's all I was used to doing. So when I started singing Volare, oh, I mean, it was strange. It was really strange. So they came up with this song called Slow Twistin'. And Chubby Checker did not want me to do it. He said, and I quote, "This little kid," I'm like, okay, it's fine. "This little kid doesn't know anything." And I said, "No, I don't know anything, but I do know how to sing." So Bernie said, "Well, let her try it. So Cal sort of tried to give me an idea of what the song was, but Dave Apple was really the one that clued me in on the song. And he said, "Can you sight read?" I said, "Yes, I can." Can you really sight read, or can you fake it?" I said, "No, I can sight read as well as play piano." So he said, "Well, just do what you can. Do what you can." And when I opened my mouth and I started singing, they were like over the moon. Okay, it was like, "Oh my God, she's great. She's great." I'm like, I didn't do nothing. I didn't sing lead on the song. I just sang backup. And Chubby didn't really like it. Well, I know he's strange. Praise the Lord for him. He is really strange.
Bobby,
praise the Lord for him.
Hold on. Did you hear what she said? That
Chubby is strange.
Yes.
Yes, he is.
Strange.
Wait,
He
wasn't there a song called "Love Is Strange"? Mickey?
Yeah,
love is strange.
Yeah,
People, whatever,
Take it for a game. Now that was, but he is strange, but I still love him.
Hold it, Dee Dee, hold on. Gary, did you hear what they said about our friend Chubby Checker?
I can't believe that.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Oh, God, yes, he is.
Well,
oh, Heavenly Father, yes, he is.
Well, let me tell you all something. I called Chubby and I said, "Ernest Evans, you got to join us because this is Philadelphia." And he texts me back, "Chubby's not ready to do this."
It's better than he did for me. I mean, he texts me. He always texts me and sends me pictures of him and me. And then he'll say, "Hey," and that's the only thing he'll say. That
you know what? Hey, you know what, Dee Dee? That same thing happened to me. I got a text from him, and all
Yeah.
it said was, "Hey."
Hey.
That's all it said was, "Hey."
Hold it. Hold it.
And
Gary, did you,
I wrote him back. I said, "What the hell's that mean? Hey?" And I
Gary,
never got an answer.
Gary, did you ever get an answer from Chubby Checker?
No, but he'd send me nude pictures.
Of him? Boy, that's a sight to behold.
Why?
Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, God. Help me, Father God. Help me. Help me. Help me, Lord Jesus. Help me.
Dee Dee,
Yes.
the song
Was it, but by any chance, was the nude picture with him plucking a chicken?
Chubby, if you are looking at this, you're going to have to come to address the situation.
Yeah, come on, Evans.
Well, everybody.
Address the
I mean,
situation.
we're only telling the truth, and the truth is, he is strange.
Okay, okay. Wait, listen, we've established that. But
Yes.
It's done. But,
I could go further, but I won't.
Dee,
Oh,
Yeah.
come on, Dee.
Dee,
Let it out, honey.
No, baby. I know. Some things you have to keep to yourself, buddy.
But this is true.
listen,
This is true.
were
Yes.
you aware that Mashed Potatoes was a song called Please Mr. Postman that they stole from the Marvelettes?
Well, you know what? The funny part about that is we had to go to court for that situation. And I told them the truth. I didn't write the song. I had no idea where the song came from or what it was. That was the reason that they said that it was a take on Please Mr. Postman. I said, but I didn't write the song. I only sang it. And they just dismissed me, and that was it.
Yeah,
And they went into a lawsuit, and I think Cal had to wind up giving half of the royalties to Joe Bett because they stole it. Literally, they did.
Yeah.
But
Well, Dee Dee, Bernie and Cal, they had, a knack, for doing that.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
They had a knack for doing that. Jerry, do you remember Pete DeAngelis?
Yeah, sure. I love Pete. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you remember? This is another. It was a lawsuit, and it was Frankie Avalon's "Why." Okay, I'll never let you go. Why? Because they sued Pete DeAngelis because it sounded like in a little Spanish town. Right? So Pete DeAngelis said, "I never heard that song."
Oh wait, I'll give you one even better. Kenny Gamble, which was very much a part of your life, Kenny, a song with Jerry Ross called The 81. It was a carbon copy of In My Lonely Room by Mark Vandellis.
Wow.
So,
In my lonely room.
There's a new dance
Yeah.
going around called The 81 In My Lonely Room. Bobby.
They did that a lot back then. They did that.
Oh, yeah, that's what I said. They had a tremendous knack for doing that.
Yeah.
Bernie and Cal. Yeah.
Well, Gamble and Huff did too. Gamble and Huff. They wheedled in and out. Okay.
But you know what their in was? Dick Clark. Their in was Dick Clark. Because Dick would play Mashed Potatoes, wouldn't play Please Mr. Postman. Dick would play the 81 because it was a dance not in my lonely room. So they were a Philly-based label. And they had, look, it would have been easy. Gary can even tell you with the publishing on the songs that he did. Did you get any publishing on that, Gary?
On what?
Of any of the songs, even though you wrote them.
Oh,
Man, they did with Chubby. That's me and Chubby got into a war. Where they call it a war. I didn't know what was going on, and with the dance party in 2:45. that they took quarter 3 and made a dance party.
Oh, Lord.
Of course, Frank Guida sued him and he won.
Well, yeah, but see, Bobby, D,
Yo.
it's easier to say, okay, you're right, but I'm going to give it half publishing because now you got a hit. If they didn't get any play, hey, okay, I'll take half publishing because of the fact they made another song out of my song, you know. Gary, in those days, how old were you when you were recording for Guida?
I was 19.
Bobby, how old were you?
My first hit,
Yeah.
Kissin' Time, I was 17.
Okay.
Summer of 1959.
Okay. Now, Dee Dee, how old were you?
I was 16. That was the summer of, well, I was going to be 17, and that was the summer of 1962. And that's when I became Dee Dee Sharp.
Yeah, you know, guys, I said this earlier, the music has changed since we...
Oh, yes, Lord.
Was there ever a point, and I'll ask Dee Dee first, in your career that you said, this music is changing. I don't know if I want to do this any longer.
Well, yeah. I was tired of the candy cane situation. And when I signed with APCO, that was a part of the ending of that situation. But the APCO label, that was funny because that they really did not want me. What they wanted was my then husband, who was Kenneth Campbell. And that's who they really wanted. They wanted Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff. They wanted them to produce Joe Simon. They wanted them to produce Wilson Pickett. And I think that, and Gamble never told me this, okay, but I really felt that that's why they wanted him. And they only wanted me because of him. And that was the way I looked at it. Now, and I found that out too late. You know, because if it was a change, or I could have done better, I would have done fine. But you know, Gamble pissed me off too because he gave a lot of those songs to everybody else and never gave them to me.
But
so that kind of pissed me off too.
You recorded for Kenny though, besides
yeah, I did, but he never pushed my songs.
Okay.
I think that, you know, hindsight is great, but, you know, I think that Gamble really wanted me to be a wife. I could cook. I didn't do much cleaning, but I had somebody clean for me.
Listen,
and he wanted me in the business,
right, but
he did not want me in the business.
Listen,
to be a part
I'll
of
tell you what, I thought she is a good cook.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried her mashed potatoes?
Oh, wait, what you're saying is basically what happened with Ronnie Bennett with Phil Spector. After he married her, he just wanted to just push her on the side a little bit. Yeah,
but you know what? When he married me, I was a performer. Okay? Right. He married a performer. And thank God I still perform and I still play piano. Yeah. I still enjoy playing piano. I still enjoy writing. But thank the Lord, you know. And truthfully, all of that made me what I am today. Okay?
Yeah. Bobby, was there ever a point in your career that you said, you know, Geator, I think, man, this whole show business thing is changing. I think I want to step away from it a little bit.
No, not really. Not really, Geator. You know, my last hit for Cameo, that was 1964 when the British invasion happened. And my last recording for them was Forget Him, which was my last million seller with Cameo. And then Alan Klein came into the picture. I made the move to Capitol.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing really ever happened with Capitol. I recorded a lot of good songs with Capitol, but nothing ever happened with Capitol. Now, as far as my recording career is concerned, it was over in 1964. But I just loved working. I continue to work. You know, in this business, you have the peaks, the valleys, the lows, the ups and downs,
Yeah.
so on and so forth. But I just loved, you know, boards and, you know, singing the tunes with a live orchestra. And, you know, that's something that I miss right now. I miss that a hell of a lot. And I'm sure Dee Dee and Gary as well.
Yes,
You
yes,
know,
You
to be
know,
able to get up on stage with a live band and do your tunes,
yes,
man.
yes,
And,
yes.
you know, hopefully, you know, with the three of us and you as well, Jerry. I mean, you know, you're just sitting at home now, right?
Gary, at a
Yep.
point,
You didn't answer my question, Jerry.
go ahead, go ahead.
I said that like the three of us, we're just sitting at homes like you.
Well, at least we got this modern technology where all of the fans are
Yeah.
working, because without that, whoa, boom.
You know, I really enjoy singing at church. I sing for virtual church every single Sunday.
Oh, that's great, Dee.
I love it. I mean, I literally love it. And my pastor, Reverend Michael Burton, he enjoys what I'm doing, and I enjoy doing it. Yeah. But that's the only thing I'm doing. It's like I'm writing. I am getting involved with other musicians to write music and to sing, but it's nothing like being on stage with the big band back of you. It's just nothing like it.
I got Gary. How are you coping with all of this? I mean, you know, and I think Dee Dee and Bobby, you know, Gary's career took another turn when Bruce Springsteen came into your career. Correct, Gary?
Yeah, that was it. But during this pandemic thing, and I just stay here in the house. I got the studio downstairs, and the band and I, we figured out a way that we can still record. We still record, and they're there. They're in their homes, and I'm here. I do all the mixing and then the mastering. Once I send it all out and get all the pieces together, then they get all this to me, and then I fix it up. It's really cool. We finished. Nah, I haven't finished yet. I still got a couple more songs. A blues album that I had to put together, you know.
Oh, great, man.
That's great, Gary. That's great.
Gary, was there ever a point after Quarter to Three, Dear Lady Twist, Not Me, all of those wonderful records that you said, man, the music business ain't happening anymore? Was there ever a point?
Not at all. I never even thought about. Hell, I don't know how to drive a truck.
You're so crazy, Gary.
I better keep
crazy.
I'm gonna sing as long as I have my underwear on.
You want to be with Chubby Checker?
Fucking chickens.
Wait.
Oh, can I do a plug, Jer?
Yeah, sure.
Because I am going to be working in March.
Okay.
Okay, it's me and Joey D and the Shirelles. We're working a place in Claremont, Florida, March 18th and 19th.
Wow.
It's called the Claremont Performing Arts Center. It's right near Orlando.
Well, you know that Gary's going to be coming back with us, and Dee Dee, I'm sure you're going to be coming back with us, and Bobby, absolutely back with the Mall Chop Memories cruise when we start.
I had a ball on that thing. I had such a good time.
Everybody has a good time. But Gary, Bruce Springsteen, how did that happen? Did he come to see you at a club when you were performing?
Yeah, he came to see me at a club in Jersey. I was working in some little joint there in Jersey doing my Holiday Inn act, and he came.
Holiday Inn act.
What is a Holiday Inn act? What is a Holiday Inn act, Gary?
Instead of doing an hour and a half, you just
didn't have a Holiday Inn act? I thought everybody had a Holiday Inn act.
Of course we did.
No.
Yes, we did, Dee.
What do you mean? What do you? I don't understand.
Well, I'll tell you the truth. This sounds like what Gary is saying. I remember doing a gig years ago in Binghamton, New York. Okay, now the stage was downstairs, and upstairs was a bowling alley. And I'm singing, you know, Volati or Wild One or whatever, you know. Strike!
So you're at the Holiday Inn, Gary.
And this was the kind of crowd. T-shirts, you know, with the cigarettes rolled up in the T-shirt. You know, that was it. That's like Gary was saying. It's a Holiday Inn act.
I have never.
And this guy, I'm singing on stage, and this guy hollers out to me. Wait a minute. This guy hollers out to me, Bobby, what about Elvis? I said, he's dead, and so's my grandmother. What are you going to do about it?
Gary, that sounds like something that Bruce Springsteen would feel really at home with coming to that Holiday Inn, right?
Yeah, I mean, that one of those clubs like that. It was a club, but we were doing the Holiday Inn, the Sheratons, the Best. Well, it wasn't Best Western then. It was another. The Hilton.
Oh, yeah. Remember those? You know, it was a great gig, man. Motel 6.
Oh,
Yeah.
They kept the lights on, and you kept performing.
You're so crazy.
Yeah,
I have never done anything like that.
Well, you know that, Dee Dee. Every time I go to the refrigerator, the light comes when I start doing my act, for crying out loud.
what do you say, Gary? Go ahead.
When you did the Hiltons, you were big time.
Oh, the Hilton. Forget about it.
You know what? I'm grateful that I wasn't in that environment. Praise God. Never done that.
If you can make it at the Hilton, you can make it anywhere. Forget New York, you know.
Oh, God. You guys are so crazy. I love you guys. You're crazy. You keep me laughing. You keep me laughing.
Gary, let me hear Gary. We got to hear Gary. Gary.
Did you ever do outdoor theaters?
The what, Gary?
Outdoor theaters, the top of when they had the cameras at.
Well, you know what? Gary had a thing like that. We did a rooftop.
Yeah.
With Jerry Blavitt, and I don't. I think Sam Cooke was on that show.
Sam Cooke was on it. We did 3 days. It was the drive-in show.
Yes.
You did one day. Gary did the one day. Sam Cooke came in. Frankie Valli then did another day.
Yes.
Do you remember the drive-in things?
Oh, the drive-in theaters?
Yeah, but on top.
They were on the rooftop.
Yeah, but I never did one of those. You never invited me.
Well, because at that time, Frankie Day, your manager, said you wanted too much money.
To do that.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's funny.
We got to check with our producer. How much time do we have?
About 25 minutes.
Listen, we got 25 minutes. We can go on for about 2 hours.
No, I told you I got a job in March. I got to get out of here.
You can stay with me till March. Tell me about
I
first with you and then with Dee Dee. When you went into the studio and you rehearsed, okay? You rehearsed first and then you would go in with the whole band and the orchestra, or would you overdub?
Who are you talking to?
You, Bob. First you, Bob.
Well, say that again, please.
When you went in to do a song back in the day, you would go in, you would rehearse it before you got in the studio. The musicians would do it together. And then when you went into the studio, did you all do it together or overdub?
Oh, no, it was live.
It was live.
Everything was live back then.
Love that.
Oh,
Love that.
Back then, Dee Dee, Gary, they couldn't fix anything, man.
Yeah.
You recorded, and what came out of your chops, that's what went on the disc.
But that's what happened with me and Chubby when we did the Down to Earth album with Don Costa. There was nothing, absolutely nothing that they left that went undone, because whatever came out of your mouth, that's what happened.
That's it, right. Yeah. Now today, if you're flat, you're sharp, They just
Oh,
they
wait,
tweak you. They tweak you a
now
little
they
bit.
overdub. It takes them a year to come out with a product. But Gary, your stuff sounded like it was done in the basement someplace. 2:45 and Night with Daddy G.
Oh, the basement would have been an upper point.
Where was that done?
No, it was because Gary used to rehearse in the bathroom. So from the bathroom, I said, "Let's get the hell out of here. Let's go to the basement for crying out loud."
Oh God, you're so crazy. You're so crazy.
G, we stayed in the bathroom and did our parts.
You just said that.
Oh, Father God, this is too funny.
Yeah, I did.
I was in the bathroom.
And then you would feed the echo from the bathroom down into the basement.
But give me the finished product, Gary. The finished product.
Yeah.
2:45. It sounded like it was cut in the basement, in the subway. Where was it cut?
It was in what Frank Guida called a studio, but it was just a big room. What do you call it? Egg crates on the wall.
Oh, yeah,
Egg
egg crates.
Soundproof, it was egg crates.
Egg crate.
Yeah, Bobby, they did that for the drums. Do you remember that? Where they would have to separate the drummer?
Oh yeah. I remember now.
Gary saying that the studio had egg crates.
On all the walls.
Oh, on the walls. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I remember that now.
Yeah, for sure.
That.
That's what they use for insulation. What do you call soundproofing?
Right.
All that stuff. But it was really a makeshift studio.
Yeah.
You know what, guys? We're really old. I mean, we're really old. I'm not, but yeah, I refuse to get old. Okay, I refuse. I absolutely refuse.
It's okay to get older, just don't get old. Okay.
There you go. That's it.
Okay.
I refuse. Yeah, I refuse to get older.
Hey, Bobby,
But I love to get old.
I do the reverse. Hey, Dee, is this true? When I spoke to Gamble, as you know, we put together the Soul Survivors for Expressway to Your Heart.
Yeah.
He sort of implied that he wrote that song about you, that he was on his way to see you, and he was caught in the expressway. Is that true?
I really don't know, and I say that with all honesty and all sincerity, because I was thinking that he wrote me and Mrs. Jones because he always called me Jones. Okay, that was his nickname for me, and I always called him Scrams. and I'm not going to say anything anyway. He said to me, it was written about you. But he also said that me and Mrs. Jones was written about me too. But I found out that was not true. Okay? He came up with this story about he and Huff were watching this guy, and I'm like, oh my Lord. We used to meet in the Schubert building. That was that little cafe.
Yeah.
Every day at a certain time, because it was in between the times that I was going to be picked up, because my mother was driving and I wouldn't. Mm-hmm. I wasn't driving then. Mm-hmm. In between the times that I was going to be picked up, and we would get together and talk, But when he wrote that song, The Expressway, we were married then. Mm-hmm. And
so you know what?
I think,
go ahead, Dee.
I think, truthfully, I think that he might have been doing something else where somebody else was concerned, and he said it was me, but that was a lie. Okay.
Listen.
Oh, speaking about the soul survivors, let's remember Kenny Jeremiah,
Yeah.
Oh yes, yes,
who
yes.
just
That was
passed away.
He was my friend and buddy. We sang together every year for the past 5 or 6 years.
What a
At the Miss
sweetheart.
Oh my God! At the Miss Senior America cameo ball, and we would always get together and sing. And I miss Kenny. I really, really
Oh,
do.
what a nice guy. What a
He was
really nice guy.
Hey
He
guys,
was
do you know that Kenny Jeremiah was responsible for putting the soul guys together, the soul survivors in New York City back then? And you remember the club, Bobby? They used to work 20th Century, 13th and Locust, the Living Room, 13th and Locust, and places
Wow.
like that.
Wow.
All these wonderful places are gone. That's another thing. Gary, when you perfected your career, all right, you would be working one-nighters, you would be working clubs, you would be working the rock and roll shows. This is how you perfected your performance, correct?
Yeah, we hardly did any clubs back then when I started out. We were doing the theaters, the Howard, the Regal, the Apollo, all those guys, the Royals. And we did hops.
Yep. Yeah.
It was all like hops. Theaters.
It
Oh,
it was called record hops. The disc jockeys.
record
They
hops.
do it. They said,
Oh
we
my
play the record.
Yeah.
What? Remember those days?
Yeah.
Let me tell you. What
I remember one time, I think they called, in Philadelphia especially, the king of the record hops. I would go everywhere, Gellart's Ballroom, up to Allentown, because God forbid, if you didn't hit one of the jockeys, they wouldn't play your record.
That's true. That is true.
You had to do all of the record hops.
Well,
That's true.
let me explain to the audience. At one
Been
time,
there, done that.
it was
Yeah.
payola, but but when that stopped, well, the other way was okay. You want me to play the record? You got to do the record hop. You see, it might
You got to do the record hop.
if they were.
We
taking the
did
money.
those, Bobby. We did a lot of those.
Oh my God! Didn't we know?
Oh yeah, we did a lot. We did a lot. I mean, the way I look at it, I've paid my dues.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
I
sweetheart.
paid my dues.
Gary, how about
I can pick and choose now.
Gary? How
There you
about
go.
you? They said we've all paid our dues. There've been the ups and the downs in show business as there is, but by the mere fact that you had the passion and the talent to do what you've done, it's taken to you where you are today. Tell me about, as Dee Dee said, we've all paid our dues. What do you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we paid. We paid our dues. In fact, I think they owe me now.
I'm going to give you a name, and I want individually you give me your interpretation. Dee Dee, Jackie Wilson.
Loved him, loved him, loved him. He was the sweetest guy that I have ever met.
Okay, I'm going to give you another name. Ronnie Isley.
Oh my Lord. Loved him, loved him, loved him. The Isley brothers were the first group that I actually met and became friends with. Aside from Jerry Butler, who I love, I love him dearly.
Yeah.
I love him dearly. Just wonderful people, good, honest people. I mean, if you sounded like crap, they said, "Oh, you sound like crap." But if you could sing, they gave you your props. And actually, Jackie Wilson, I learned how to throw the mic just like he did.
Wow. Wow.
But that was Chuck Jackson, Tommy Hunt, and Jackie Wilson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bobby.
Yeah.
All the performers. I'm sure you feel the same way as Dee Dee.
Absolutely.
But tell me about your favorite performer.
Oh, wow. My favorite performer?
Going back with the recording, going back as a kid. I mean, now you're in show business. You got all these other wonderful performers that you're working with. Who impressed you?
Bobby Darin.
I knew
Yeah.
what you were going to say. I mean, yeah,
You know, I have a charcoal picture of Bobby. I don't know who did it, and it's a great resemblance of Bobby. And he wrote to me, "Dear Bobby, I wish for you what I wish for myself. Your friend, Bobby Darin." Isn't that cool, man?
That was
Isn't
sweet.
that cool?
Gary, all
Yeah.
the guys that you worked with in the early days, we talked about the Howard Theater, you talk about the Regal, you talk about the Uptown, you talk about the Fox in Detroit, man. One performer or a couple of performers. We know about Jackie, we know about Isley, we know about Bobby Darin. Give me some of your favorite memories of the guys.
Well, yeah, Jackie was one of the main ones because he was one of the first ones I met when I got. Besides Ruth Brown, besides Laverne Baker, in fact, and Joe Tex. Joe Tex was the guy that taught Jackie Wilson how to throw the mic.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
Really? I never knew that.
Joe Tex was one dancing fool.
Yes, he was. Yes, he
And
was.
he could take the mic. He taught them all. You know what? They just get down on the knee and then catch the mic that way. That's where that came from Joe Tex. There's a lot of
Wow.
those
Hey, Jerry,
Yeah.
I remember my first big rock and roll show in New York was at the Paramount.
Right.
The New York Paramount.
Yep.
Now I was like, I had like maybe 2 records at the time, and the star of the show was Jackie Wilson, and also the Isley brothers were on the bill. Now in the afternoon, all of the young girls, the screaming girls would come in the afternoon shows. Mommy, oh. Then it came for the late shows. The 9 o'clock shows. And I'd be on stage, and I'd be doing kissing time, and you hear from me like, "Get off, you fruitcake! Get out of here! Go back where you came from, you fruitcake!" They wanted to see Jackie. They wanted. I want to make them want to shout. Oh, I want to shout.
Okay, let's talk about one name, Dinah Washington, Dee Dee.
Oh my God.
Oh
Yes.
God.
Dinah
Yes.
Washington, Dee Dee.
Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. I remember her really, really well. I never really got to know her. I knew Mama Della Reese.
Yeah.
I loved her and she loved me. And I didn't really get to meet Dinah Washington.
Yeah.
But Mama Della Reese was amazing.
I'll tell you a great story about Dinah Washington, and Bobby will know it, and I'm sure that Gary, you will know it. There was the Sepia Circuit back in the day. Dinah Washington, all of the black artists, Adela, before she really made it big, would play the local clubs, which were the Sepia Circuit. In Philadelphia, it was Pep's.
Yeah, I remember that.
Pep's Musical Show Bar.
That was it.
Yeah, yeah.
All the black artists played there. And I used to go in to see her. And she would come out. She would have 2 big guys, and she would come out on like a sofa. And she would come out, and she had the cigarette in her hand. And
wow.
to sing, "What a Difference a Day Makes."
What a great record. What a great record.
God.
Let me tell you a story. My first tour, the Dick Clark Caravan of Stars, it was like 1960, right? And we had, I don't know, 15, 20 acts on the show, right? We had Lloyd Price,
Oh my
still
God.
today a great friend, and the orchestra who backed up all of the talent was a Lloyd Price orchestra. Now on the bus, speaking about a lady that we mentioned earlier, Laverne Baker, she had a curtain around her seat in the bus. And you did not open that curtain, man. She'd give you a tune. Forget about it. Forget about it.
Bobby and Dee Dee and Gary, do you know Laverne Baker was instrumental for Johnny Ray?
No.
Johnny Ray used to go see Laverne Baker at the Flame Show Bar in Detroit and watch her phrasing.
Get out of here.
And if you listen to Laverne Baker,
Right.
You listen to Johnny Ray. I worked with Johnny. We did a show at the Civic Center with Johnny Ray, Rosemary Clooney, the Four Lads. And I said to Johnny Ray, nice man. I said, who was your favorite? He said, man, Laverne Baker.
How about that? Never knew that.
I never knew that.
If you listen to Johnny Ray and do Laverne Baker's version of that Lucky Old Son, whoa, her version of My Happiness. I mean, she
Johnny Ray.
Yeah.
You know where I saw Johnny Ray? I was 10 years old.
At the Earl.
At the old, no, well, yes, I saw him at the Earl Theater, but I met him personally at the old Latin Casino in Philadelphia.
On Walnut Street.
Remember the old Latin?
Yeah.
If he goes, sweetheart, sends a letter of goodbye.
Baker.
There's no secret.
Tweedledee.
Well, I guess you're right. Yeah.
Gar, did you ever meet Don Washington? Did you ever meet
Who,
Don
me?
No, Gary.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you ever meet Don Washington?
No, I didn't.
How about Sarah Vaughan?
Sarah Vaughan, I did.
Oh, love Sarah Vaughan.
Great
Sarah
singer.
Vaughan and Carmen McRae.
Oh, yeah.
And let's not forget about Ella Fitzgerald, folks.
Oh my Lord.
Listen, I got to tell you, there was a place. Gary worked in Atlantic City. He worked at Ricky's Hialeah Club. Remember that, Gary?
Oh yeah.
Ricky's Hialeah Club. I'm not going to tell the story about the horse after where we went horseback riding and boom, boom, boom. The guy was shooting at us. I ain't going to talk about that, Bobby. But there was a bistro. Do you remember the Le Bistro right up the corner from the 500? Le Bistro. Gary remembers. Bobby, I don't know if you remember the Le Bistro.
No, I do not.
Okay.
I don't remember that either.
There was the Black Orchid in Atlantic City on Pacific Avenue.
Right, I saw Vic Damone there.
Right, Dinah Washington would appear. But the Bistro would feature all jazz artists.
Correct.
I went in there with Nat Sigel about 3 o'clock in the morning because I just done the record hop. And who was singing was Sarah Vaughan. And in the audience, you guys will love this, was Billy Eckstine.
Oh
my God.
Billy Eckstine.
My God.
Said someone's very special who was very much responsible for my career. And she brought him up on stage. And, Billy played trumpet. Did you know that, Bobby?
No, I did not.
Yeah, he was a trumpet player at the beginning. He had a band. He was responsible. She sang with him at the very beginning with his band. I mean, so many great, wonderful memories, guys, of all the performers, Gary, Bobby, Dee, that are no longer here, but opened up the door for all of us guys,
Yeah. But, Jerry, I tend to think that I open doors for a lot of women, and I'm grateful. I am so grateful. But the artists today, I don't get them. I just don't get it. I really don't get it. The songs today are not like great songs. It's repetition as far as I'm concerned.
The
it
problem,
doesn't have the body of a great.
No storyline.
No storyline.
Right,
and I
would agree.
I always thought that you needed a storyline in order to sing a really great song. Yeah. But today, I don't know. What do you feel, Bobby and Gary, about that?
Gary?
Well, to tell you the truth, Dee, when I'm in my car, okay, this is what I listen to. WIP Sports Talk Radio. Serious, 50s on 5, 60s on 6, and then seriously Sinatra.
There you go.
That's what I listen to.
Gary, who do you listen to?
I got 50s and 60s on satellite.
I'm a little bit different, guys. Okay, I listen to an eclectic group. I can go from I listen to WDAS.
Right.
Patty Jackson.
Yeah.
I listen to Steve Harvey sometimes, but basically, I love gospel music. That
Nothing
is
wrong
my
with that.
heart. I
That's where it all
literally love gospel music.
It all
So
began. It all
I
began.
play,
gospel.
I play gospel piano, and I love it. And I love singing gospel music. That is really my heart. That's my heart desire.
Listen, guys, I'm going to have to end this, but we got to do it again. Bobby, you're going to be working March again.
March 18th and 19th at the Claremont Performing Arts Center in Claremont, Florida, with Joey D and Shirelles. And there was one other act on the show which escapes me at the time. But it's, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Gary.
It'll be me.
Oh, why not?
Gary.
Yeah.
You know, I go back with all you guys. You're very special in my life, but not only in my life, but for young people who first heard the music. It was the music of America. And I always end the show by saying your music, our music, brought people together. There's got to be more music that brings people together, that does not divide people. We are all one under God's creation, regardless of race, color, or creed. And that's what your legacy is. Every one of the performers, that you have brought people together. And with that, what more can I say, Gary, Bobby, or Dee Dee?
Love you guys.
That is very. Yeah, Dee Dee, always a pleasure, sweetheart. Gary,
too,
I miss you, my man.
Oh,
I miss you, Gary.
Gary, I got some
Tell
wine.
Lori I said hi.
I got some wine, Gary.
Hey, let's do it.
For you out there, you talk about the legends, you talk about the people who created the music. You see it when we do our chats. You see that these performers are not just performers. They're human beings, no different than you and I. Raise family, have sadness, have goodness, have gladness. We're all together in one. And I'm delighted that I'm able to do this, to bring it all together until we do it again. Remember at all times, you got to keep on rocking. Because as Dee Dee said, as Bobby said, as my man Gary said, you only got to rock once. So keep on rocking.
God bless.
This jockey is taking a much needed and well-deserved break. This is he, the old boss with the hot sauce, the old Geator, with the heater being on a wreck at a bleeder. Yeah, they're now taking out 2 woo suits. Just one more time, baby, for you. My people now, you got it. Yeah, for 2 minutes or 2. Hey, 1951, remember it? Oh, it sold a million, billions, 52, 53 and 54 and 55, and that's okay. They sold a million, billions, and I'm still the boss paid disc jockey on the radio, but that's okay. That's okay as long as we can keep on broadcasting to you. My people, hey, lady, oh my people, I'm sorry, hey. Come on now, dedication time for some phonic sand. Tina, Kyle, Pauline, Brunophonic, Brunolonic Bruno, my man, Foxy Dan, Eddie, ECT, baby, that's my girl, Riri, Brunophonic then, Fishman Dan, Polyphonic Paula, Linda, Lindis, and then hey, to you people out there, the greatest people in the whole big wide world, come on now. Hey, Eddie, Buddy, Kyle, Goose, Al, Gloria, Sue, Tom, Sam, Jude, Mert, George, Hunt, Ears, Weirs, Symphonic. One more time now. Hey, that's it now. That's it. Yeah. Cowsville. You've got it, Houseville. You've got it, Mouseville. You've got it, everybody'sville, because you got it. And here he comes, my man. One more time, the old boss with the hot sauce, making the scene, baby, with this record machine.